So let's get started. I didn't do my makeup today, and I had a lot of meetings, work meetings online, and for some reason, yeah, I just didn't have time, and I didn't have the mood to do my makeup today morning. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do my makeup now because I do need to film some training sessions for my client, and therefore I do need to look at least somewhat decent on the videos because it's a finished product. Basically, it is something that the client is gonna give the employees to look, and therefore I do need to look put together, so to say. So I do have a few steps that help me look put together and feel put together without taking too much time and taking too much effort. So that is exactly what we're gonna do today. And yeah, I kind of did not prepare my skin properly. Maybe do I have a moisturizer here? I don't think I do. It's okay because I'm gonna be using my own cushion that I've created by just mixing some of the foundations that I like. And what is good about cushion is, first of all, you don't need to fuss about, you know, taking a sponge, wetting a sponge, thinking what foundation you're gonna use. You just have it all in one, and basically you just go all in, and you look quite decent after you do that. So this is kind of a step that actually saves me a lot of time when I'm doing my makeup, and especially when I do want my makeup to look good, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So this is going to be our first step. And another good thing about a cushion foundation is that, it looks very natural, therefore you cannot see it really on the face. And obviously, for me personally, it helps me feel put together and more confident, especially, when I need to film some videos. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna apply it all over the face. You probably don't see any difference because I can see that, you just saw that some of the... So now that we have what? It took us actually, if I wouldn't be talking, all of this. So now I'm gonna grab is the Catrice Sun Bronzer because again, it has just a little bit of shine, which I enjoy while I'm filming. So we're just gonna lightly bronze. And you're not gonna be able to see it, but it gives just a little tiny sheen to the face. And when I'm filming my training sessions, I do want, just a little bit of life on my face. So that's what we're gonna do, just, bronze a little tiny bit, not too much, but not too little. Because again, if, I'm filming especially something that I need for work, I do need to look, not, I don't know, not too much, I would say. So there you go, something like that. Bronzer, we're done with the bronzer. And now we're just gonna do a little bit of blush. Again, I'm gonna use a more shimmery blush, a shiny one, and that's gonna be the Sephora. It's actually a luminizer in the shade 03. I do love to use it as a blush. Hi, yeah, hi, thank you. So that way I'm gonna just add a little bit. There you go, can you see that? Just a little bit of highlight using the brush because it does have this nice base blushy color to it. Just like that. A little bit on the forehead. And tiny bit on the nose. So that way my matte complexion doesn't look too much or too matte, I would say. And we do add just a little bit of life using, these products. So again, if you've missed it, bronzer is the Catrice Sun Lover bronzer. And the blush is the Sephora Colorful Luminizer in the shade 3. Now, what we're gonna do again, I do need to look professional to film my training sessions. So on the eyes, we're not gonna do anything that will look too colorful or I don't know, too bright. We're gonna use this palette, the Natasha Denona Midi I Need a Nude palette, and I'm using just a little bit of primer. It's the Party Proof primer from ColourPop because I unfortunately do get creasing if I do not use a primer, so that's what we're gonna do first, and then I'm going to decide what colors we're gonna use for today because again, it's supposed to be subtle, you know, this subtle kind of subtle glam look or something like that. So let's let the primer set. And what shades am I gonna use? Well, usually I use this shade in the crease and then this one all over the lid. And then sometimes I do deepen it up, sometimes I don't, depending on my mood. But for today, what we're gonna do, I think, well, yeah, we're gonna still use this shade, no, this one, this is the lighter one in my crease, and then we're gonna see because I'm not so sure about that. Probably it's gonna be something very, very simple because, I mean, again, I don't want to overwhelm the eyes. I do need to look professional, not professional business trainer and not a professional makeup artist. So just like that in the crease to give it some dimension basically. And I do have hooded lids, so I correct that just a little bit by putting the crease shade a little bit higher. Okay, something like that. And now let's think. Or we can choose under my nails. Let me just clean that out. Hate that. Hate when it happens. So this one. We also have Delilah here. This is a nice sparkly shade. And maybe Muse. Yeah. So choose out of these 4 shades. Okay, I think I'm gonna go something taupey and maybe add this sparkle on top. I think that's gonna be, you know, the more office friendly version of this makeup look. So let's go in with, what's that called? Travertine, this shade right here. I'll just pick it using my fingers and put it kind of all over the lid because it has this, I think, what, silver sheen to it? Yeah, kind of a silver sheen, but it has quite a deep base. So that is good because it's gonna give us a little bit of a smoky effect.